the right side he goes. Incomplete at the goal line. No flag.
Nope, he missed it. Wide left. The Ravens have won 3 consecutive games.
Here he's coming up. Now he's going laterally. He's going to throw it on the run, and it's broken up, and there's no flag. Home flag comes in late. Yeah, he's there early. Yep. Butker's kick for the win. He buries it.
Hello, everyone. This is the Pocket Passer. I'm your host, Randy White. I hope all of you are having a fantastic day. I know I am, because we're talking about football, and more specifically, the blazing hot seat Zac Taylor has found himself in. It is no secret around the NFL that Zac Taylor is one of the coaches very popularly mentioned on the hot seat that is going to be jobless come January or February. No doubt about that. But I'm going to go ahead and extend an olive branch to Zac Taylor and try and give him a little bit of a benefit of the doubt on why they're 4-7 and why it just might not be all on him, right? There's other outlets to blame here. Certainly not Joe Burrow. He's not one of them. He's been incredible. 3,028 yards, 27 touchdowns, 4 picks through 11 games played. He has been nothing short of exceptional. JaMarr Chase, Triple Crown leader right now. Leader in receptions, leader in receiving yards, leader in receiving touchdowns. He's been unbelievable as well. But this Bengals offense that is 9th in yards per game at 354.3 yards per game, 6th in points per game with 27 points per game, 7th in giveaways, 7th least giveaways with 10 giveaways. They are complemented by just a sad sack of a unit on the defensive side. 24th in yards per game, 355.5 yards per game allowed, 28th in points per game, 26.9 points per game allowed. So they actually have a positive point differential slightly, despite the fact that they're 3 games under their loss total. But you're looking at a staff that has an offensive head coach. The offense is performing at a high level. What's the problem? Lack of quality personnel on the defensive side of the ball. You got a great pass rusher in Trey Hendrickson, but after that, what do you really have to even bother mentioning? No interior defense. So the run game is horrible. These defensive backs are wildly inconsistent. They make some flashy plays, some cool plays, but for the most part, they're getting burned all over the place. So they can't defend the run and they can't defend the pass. So when you get into clutch situations where you need to stop, it's not happening. The only reason they were in that Ravens game that went into overtime in week 4 was because Lamar Jackson fumbled and gifted them the ball. Otherwise, I'm sure the Ravens would have gone down the field and ended it without the Bengals even having a chance. So this defense has been pitiful. It's been sorry. I like Lou Anarumo a lot, the Bengals defense coordinator, but this personnel is horrible. The front office has done Joe Burrow and this Bengals team a disturbing disservice in acquisition of talent. They have not drafted well. They have not signed free agents well. They have not maintained or coached or developed well either. So there's blame to go all around the table here defensively. Offensively, there is cause to blame Zac Taylor for some mismanagement. You can point the finger at him and say, why'd you run the ball 3 times in overtime against the Ravens? Stuff, kick a long field goal, miss, Ravens go down, kick a field goal, win. And then you got a situation against the Chargers where they come all the way back and then they can't get it done. They can't execute. They start slow every year, 0-3 this year, struggling last year to start the year, struggling the year before that to start the year. And you go, hey, your head coach isn't getting these guys in a position to be ready to go when week 1 kicks off to go compete at a high level. They were bad against a bad New England Patriots team. They had Boston Connor on Pat McAfee saying that the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl because they beat the Bengals. Nope, turns out the Bengals and the Patriots both just stink. But here come New England with Drake May. We can talk about that a different time. But Zac Taylor has had his Bengals team underperforming in a big way. And when you have a guy that's an incredible talent at quarterback in Joe Burrow, a top 4 quarterback in the NFL. He's been unbelievable. If his team had 2 more wins, he'd be the MVP frontrunner. So when you look at that, you look at what JaMarr Chase is doing, and then you look at the record, you go, what the hell? This is the head coach's fault. Get him out of here. But if we take a moment, you're going to see, like I talked about, defense, horrible, offense, good. He's an offensive coach. Now, he's responsible for the entire team as the head coach. Everything's got to come together. So I don't know if there's a culture problem. If there is, he's got to go. If it's a player acquisition problem, we got to do something about the general manager. We got to do something about the historical cheapness of this Bengals front office that refuses to pay quality players, refuses to build this team in a way that shows, hey, we're in this to really win it, not in here to save a couple bucks, which is what they've been doing over the last years and years and years. That's what they're known for. They're known for being cheapskates. They're known for not going all in when they should be going all in. Well, you've got yourself a great quarterback. You got to go all in. I'm going to play devil's advocate for Zac Taylor a little bit here. They're playing Kansas City week 2. Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, consider leaving a like and smashing that subscribe button and going to check out other videos on my channel. I appreciate all the support I've been getting recently, starting to see an uptick in views and engagement, especially engagement. Don't be shy to go leave a comment if you think I'm an idiot or if you agree with me, whichever one. Let me hear your opinions in the comment section below. Now back to the video. Playing Kansas City, week 2, they lose by 1. You get a defensive pass interference call. It's really, really close. The DB gets there before the ball gets there. It should have been called, but damn, man. You are right there against the Kansas City Chiefs. Bang. 1-1 if your DB gets there a 10th or a 100th of a second later, and now it's a fair play, and the ball gets broken up, and it's game over. Bengals win. They beat the Chiefs 1-1. Then you lose to the Commanders. Fine, we'll count that. And then you go to Carolina. You win that game. So now you're 2-2. Baltimore. McPherson drills that kick. They get a better operation. If I remember correctly, the operation wasn't great. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it was all McPherson. Whatever it may be, get the operation right, get the kick right, whatever needs to happen. They drill that kick. They win 41-38. Okay, now they're 3-2 instead of 1-4. Big swing in those 2 games. And then you go ahead and you go down. They beat the Giants. They beat the Browns. Okay, so now they're 3-2, 4-2. 5-2. Big swing from being 3-4. So now instead of 3-4, 5-2. Now you go ahead and you jump to, they get whopped by the Eagles. Okay, 5-3. Then they smash the Raiders, 6-3. Then they lose to the Ravens by 1 in a situation where, yes, it was a bad play call by Zac Taylor. The Ravens have been known in that situation how they played the Bengals in goal line defense. They're going to play man coverage, outside leverage on the slots, the defensive backs, with outside rushers dropping into vertical hook zones. So now you're going to get outside leverage, so they're in position to defend the whip routes. You got mirrored concept double whip routes from the slots, and JaMarr Chase, who's been unguardable, is one-on-one, and he's not even a real part of the progression. So Joe Burrow gets rushed, has to get the ball out. He gets roughing the passer big time. Face mask. Then there's another face mask on an offensive lineman. Pass interference gets committed on the tight end that got the ball thrown to him on the 2-point conversion. That doesn't get called. So at least 3 penalties that should have been called on that 2-point conversion play that don't get called. Bengals might win that game 36-34. So that's a big swing. We're looking at 7-3. And then you go to the Chargers. Big swing there. We're looking at a team that could literally be 8-3 with a little less misfortune, or at very least 7-4, 6-5. Hell, 5-6. Would be a huge, huge difference if only one of those things goes their way. But that's 4 games that there is a massive swing that occurs in them. And this is a Bengals team that we're talking about as a Super Bowl contender if just 2 of those things don't go that way. And they're sitting here at 6-5 instead of 7-4. Huge, huge difference. So that's just something to consider when looking at this Bengals team. Yes, Zac Taylor is worthy of a heavy dose of criticism, but my God, their fortune has been just horrible. And a lot of that, I almost feel bad for Zac Taylor, and I feel bad for this coaching staff for having to deal with the poor player acquisition and just an unwillingness by the front office, it seems at times, to really build a team that's going to go cover all their bases and excel at a high level. They're not spending money where they need to be spending it. They're not drafting the way they need to be drafting, whether that's on the coaching staff, scouting department, general manager, the whole thing, and they are wasting a Hall of Fame career at quarterback by not getting things right in Cincinnati. They got to figure it out right now. Their season's not dead yet. They've got 7 losses. They could pull a 2016 Packers and go win 6 straight and find themselves in the playoffs. Difference though, Packers NFC North at that time was terrible. This AFC North is already out of reach for Cincinnati, it seems. Pittsburgh is like 2 wins away, 3 wins away from clinching. Baltimore has the tiebreaker with the sweep, so they're 2 or 3 wins away from Cincinnati not having a shot. Bengals need to be perfect. They need a lot to go their way. They're probably not going to win the division. They got to hope that some teams like the Broncos, like the Colts, stay down and they can keep rolling. So that's what we're looking at in Cincinnati. A lot of things to consider when assigning blame. Let's not just assume Zac Taylor's a complete bum. I still think he's a decent coach. We saw him beat Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in an AFC Championship game. Only other coach and team besides Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and then Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. The only other quarterback coach duo is Joe Burrow and Zach Taylor to beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason. So let's not jump the gun too quickly here. Zach Taylor is a better coach than people give him credit for, although a lot of the criticism is deserved. If they do get rid of Zach Taylor, bring in Mike Vrabel. Bring in Mike Vrabel if they get rid of Zach Taylor. That's all I'm going to say about that. Bring in Mike Vrabel, for the love of God. He's a great coach. Tennessee should not have fired him. I didn't get that at all. Go hire Mike Vrabel. And that goes for any team that is firing a coach this year. Go get Mike Vrabel in your freaking building right now. He's a fantastic coach. He'll turn your franchise around. He'll change that culture. He'll get you into winning ways if you get that man a quarterback and you get that man an offensive coordinator. That's all it's going to take. So go make it happen, Bengals. Go make it happen, Jets. Go make it happen. Any of these other teams, the Giants, if they cut ties with Brian Dable, the Jags, when they inevitably cut ties with Doug Peterson, go get Mike Vrabel. That's all I got for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and smash that subscribe button. I will see all of you in the next video. Peace.